Have you ever heard a story that made you question your reality? You know, the kind that sends chills down your spine, makes you look over your shoulder. Well, get ready because today's tales are not just your typical ghost story. They are the ones that can linger in your mind long after you hear them. Trust me, you might not want to turn off the lights tomorrow. Scary stories have a way of blurring the lines between fiction and reality, right? They draw us in with their empirical details and make our hearts race. Whether it's a campfire tale or something you heard from a friend, those stories can be so real. It's like you are living them. So let's dive into some chilling nativities that might just keep you up all night, questioning everything you thought you know. Attention of problem and challenging. Now here's the things. Not all scary stories are just harmless tales told for a laugh. Some can have a sinister twist that snacks up on you when you last accept it. You know, like that one friend who swears they saw something scary in the woods. So that urban legend that makes you think twist about walking home alone at night. There's always the nagging feelings in the back of your mind. What if there some truth to these stories? I had my own experience that made me question this when I was just a kid. I remember staying up late with friends, sharing ghost stories. When one told a tale about a haunted house just down the street, I was the kind of place that made you feel uneasy just looking at it. Little did you know that night would change everything. Exploration and development. So, let me tell you about a couple of those eating stories. One night, a friend of mine, Alicia, decided to go camping with her family. They set up their tent in a secluded area, far away from the noise of campsite. Everything was going great until they heard whispers in the dark. At first, they thought it was another group of campers, but as they listened closely, the whisper seemed to be calling out her name. Who could be out there alone calling for her? They pushed it off as their imagination, but later that night they found strange footprints about their tent. footprints that don't belong to anyone in their group. Freaky, right? And then there's the story of Jack, who moved into a new apartment. He loved the place until he started hearing odd noises at night, like someone was walking around in the kitchen. When he was home alone, one evening he set up his phone to record the sound, thinking it was just the pipes or maybe a lurking outside. When he captured was something entirely a shadow dating across the kitchen. Just before he heard the noise, the next day he found out that the previous tent had vanished without a trace. Now imagine here that in the dark it gives you goosebumps, does not it? Remix and key moment to that haunted house I emanated earlier. My friends and I, followed my curiosity and a bit too much soda, decided we had to check it out. As we approached, the air felt thick, almost electric. We pushed open the cracky door and stepped inside. It was dark, and the floor ground beneath our feet. Suddenly, we heard a loud crash for the upstairs. My heart raced, and I felt this overwhelming urge to run. But we were in too deep. We swept up the stairs, and that's when we saw it, an old mirror reflecting something behind us that was not there. When we turned around, I swept. It felt like someone was watching us, and the feeling of dear was suffocating. We bowled out of there, and we were never looked back. Consolation and summary. So, what's the takeaway from these spanning, chilling tales? Secure stories can stick with you, lingering in your mind long after the nights go out. They remind us of how thick the veil behind reality and the unknown can be, whether it was a whisper in the dark or a shadow in the corner of your eye. These stories challenge us to comfort our fears and questions the world around us. Call to action. Now, I want to hear from you. Have you ever experienced something that made your skin crawl? Share your own story in the comments below. And if you enjoy this video and want more typical content that keeps you on the edge of your set, Make sure to hit the subscribe button. Thanks for watching and remember to keep the lights on tonight.